Friends, thank you very much for clicking ABC English. Friends, today we will discuss past continuous tense. My dear friends, we all know about past continuous tense, but today we have to discuss some advanced usage of past continuous tense. Friends, we all should know this concept very well, then only we can use it in our regular curriculum, or this is very much important for any kind of competitive exam. My dear friend, past continuous refers to any kind of past action. We all know it. Past action. And these action should be going on at that time. That means past going on actions is written in past continuous structures like this way: subject, then subject, after that was, were, and after that main verb with ing. Then if there is any object, we can write it down. This is the basic structure and we all know it very well. Just like this one, he was playing football. Maybe there may be any kind of adverb like then. So this is the basic structure, we all know it, but we should know the concept clearly, why this is past continuous, why this action is past, and in which relation it is past. We have to know it very clearly. Friends, for any kind of action, there is a time. Without time, nothing can take place. So action, time, this is the time of the action. And my dear friend, any kind of action is related to, normally by default, any kind of action is related to reporting time. Reporting time. I mean to say, this reporting time is at the time of speaking, you can say. At the time of speaking. At the time of speaking, or you can say time of speaking. Time of speaking. Friends, we have to understand the difference between these two things. Suppose this is today. This is the time when I am reporting, anything. So in respect of this time, this action is past. Suppose there the action is playing. He was playing football. Actually, my dear friends, I am reporting, or I am saying this sentence. I am saying he is saying this sentence to some other person. Suppose this is I, and I am saying this person, this is my listener. I am the speaker here, this is my listener, and I am saying this listener that he was playing football then. That means in respect of this time, this action is past. So this is the main concept of tense, or this is the main concept of this is the concept of tense, or this is the concept of actual timing of any kind of action. And my dear friends, we have to relate the time of action and the time of speaking. If we can understand this thing, everything will be clear to us. There will be no such mistake. Friends, time is, I am just going to show you the timeline. Timeline, friends, goes on in this way. Look at this. We don't know the starting point and we don't know the finishing point. And suppose an action, the person is playing here. This person is playing here. Friends, we cannot identify the time of, this is the time of action. This person is playing in this point. But we cannot identify the time if we do not relate it to some other time. Friends, suppose this is our reporting time, and in relation to this time, this is time of speaking and this is time of action, and this time of action is passed in relation with this time. I mean to say this. And suppose some action, this action will be this time, any kind of action that will be future in respect of this time. Right now I am here, on this point I am here, this is my present time. Friends, this is the main concept. That means right now I am reporting something. Suppose this same sentence, at this moment, if the action goes on in this point, or if the time of action and the time of speaking both are same, at that time I should say he is playing. He is playing. It means the time of action and the time of speaking both are same. Time of action, both times are same. Time of action and time of speaking both are same. And if we relate this time with this point, so in respect of this time or time of speaking, this time is past, so we should say he was playing. And suppose this is the speaking time of speaking, so respecting this, or in respect of this time, the next action, the upcoming action, that will be future, or we should say he will be playing. Friends, this is actually the concept of continuous tense. Again I am saying, if the time of action and the reporting time or the time of speaking both are same, at that time it is present continuous. If the time of action and time of speaking both are separate, at that time, if it is past, in respect of this time, if it is past, the action will be past continuous, and in respect of this time, if the upcoming action, it will be future. So we have to write down in this way. This is the concept of past continuous tense or future continuous tense, or this is present continuous tense. We all know it. Today we will discuss some advanced usage of past continuous tense. Friends, let's look at this. Friends, before I start, I should say one thing to you. That means it is related to, friends, everything is related to time. Only the time is absolute and all the things are relative. Whatever we do, all these things are relative. And we use the time, we also use the time in relation with some other points. Otherwise we cannot measure time, we cannot identify this point in this timeline, because timeline is never ending. We don't know the starting point, we don't know the finishing point, we don't know where we are right this moment, we don't know it. So if we want to identify or point out this time, we have to use another point, and this point will be decided according to this point, according to the other point. That means it is relative, it is related to this point. In this way we can judge the time, and this time in this mundane world, time is used actually, or the actions which takes place, obviously it has some time, and this time is divided into two parts. One is called point. That means in this way we use time in our mundane life. Another one is duration. Friends, duration means, suppose from this point to this point, it is duration, and point means just a particular point from where something is going to be started. Suppose this is 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock. This is a point. In this way, we can use a day, entire day as a point. We can use the entire year as a point. We can use today, we can use year, or like this one, this year. In this way, we can use time in point. And for duration, suppose 2 hours. 2 hours. Actually, it's a span. It's a span of 2 hours. That means this is the starting point, and this is the finishing point. This is the starting point, this is the finishing point, and between this time it is 2 hours. So it's a duration. It's a duration. Or you can say for 10 years, for 10 years, for 30 minutes, for 20 minutes. All these are duration. My dear friends, in this way the time is divided. And friends, one thing, some of the actions, some of the actions, or all types of actions which takes place and we use in our sentences, that are also divided into that are also divided on the basis of these times. Suppose drop, it is one kind of action, it's a verb, and it takes place in a point. That means for a duration we cannot uh, use this word. Just like this one, suppose fell. On the other hand, we can write down, suppose shoot, throw, or we can say pronounce, or we can say start, or we can say finish. My dear friends, these types of actions happens in a point. Friends, if you think about some other actions, suppose read. This action cannot be done in a point. In a point of time, it cannot be done. Or you can say write, same thing, write, play, or you can say sing, or you can say, suppose this is pronounced. This is pronounced. You pronounced, suppose the word cat. You are pronouncing this word. So in a point it is possible. But if I say speak, my dear friends, in a point you cannot speak. So we have to understand these think very much. In case of, not only in case of continuous tense, for all the tenses we have to know it, but in case of continuous tense, it is very much important. If the time is a point, I mean to say, if the time is a point, we cannot write down in V plus ing form. Friends, because it is continuing action, and continuing action cannot be completed or cannot be done in a point. Friends, I think you can understand this. Now let's look at some examples. Friends, I think this part is clear to you. Now, if this part is clear, we will dive into the advanced section of past continuous tense. Let's look at the examples. Friends, past continuous means there will be a subject. After that, there will be was or were. And after that, there will be present form of verb with ing, because this is the continuous form. After that, if there is any object, we will write down, and there may be some adverbs or some other words. So I wrote down short form other, O for other, W for words. Friends, this is the basic structure. This is the basic structure. Just like this one, he was reading he was reading English. He was reading English. So he is the subject. As per the subject, we have written auxiliary verb was. After that, the ing form, and finally it is object. This is the main verb. This is the auxiliary verb. This is the subject, and this is the object. And this sentence is correct. That means suppose this is the time of speaking, and this is the time of speaking. In respect of this time, obviously this action took place here, because this is the past time. This is the past time, and this is our time of speaking. Time of speaking. My dear friends, I think you know this. We all know this. Friends, this is the basic past continuous tense. Now, friends, you can understand. You can see this type of action. This is very much important. Just try to understand. Suppose this action 1, I am just saying this is action 1. Action 1, it is going on. This action was going on. Suppose this is my time of speaking or reporting time. So this action was going on. So obviously it's a past action. Past action. I am writing down an example. I was reading English. Friends, so it is past continuous tense. There is no such problem. And this is our reporting time or time of speaking. So this action was going on during this period. And friends, you can see I was reading. Obviously, the time which is there inside this verb, that is a duration. It is not a point of time. That means obviously it has a starting point, and up to a certain time it will be finished. We are in this mid position or anywhere. That means it's a duration. Friends, it may happen that another action which can interrupt. Here, suppose here, another action interrupted this activity here. That means this is action 2. Suppose someone called you during this moment. That means this action was going on. You were reading at that time and you are disturbed or interrupted by some other person. Here you can see when he called me. When he called me. Look, this is the verb is call, and for calling someone, no need to a duration of time. It's a point of time. That is why we are writing down past indefinite tense here. We are not writing down continuous tense because it's a point of time. That means this action for calling someone, we no need to use the time which show duration. So this action was going on and action 2 interrupted here. Friends, for these type of sentences we have to use the action which was going on. That means the activity that needs duration. For that part we have to write down continuous, past continuous, and the part which interrupted, the action being interrupted by some other person, that person should be written in past indefinite. And there must be a subordinating conjunction, and that will be when. Actually, my dear friends, entirely this subordinate clause will be a time clause. Actually, it will represent a time, entire clause, and these will be the adverb of reading. It will be an adverb clause of time. My dear friends, I think you can understand this part. Now there may be another concept. There may be another situation. What kind of situation? Friends, suppose this is our time of speaking, and obviously if it is our time of speaking, this part will be our past time. If I say something that if I say any kind of action that takes place here, obviously it will be past action. So that will be past action. Suppose here an action 1, it was going on, any kind of going on action. Suppose the example is, you can see about this example, the children were playing. The children were playing. Friends, if you think about the time of speaking, so obviously if you are in past time, this action of playing, it was going on. Friends, another action, suppose another action 2, so at the same time action 2 was also going on. Action 2 was also going on. Friends, this is actually, you can say, parallel action. Parallel action. Suppose two parallel actions were going on, or you can say simultaneous action. MULTANEOUS. Suppose simultaneous action. That means two actions were going on at the same time. So we have to write down two actions. Obviously, if the actions were going on, so two actions need duration of time. So you can see playing, it's an activity which needs this duration of time. Suppose another action, suppose the elders were reading. The were reading elders were reading in the tiffin hours. In the tiffin hours. So look, friends, that means it was also a going on action. It is action 1. And the elders were reading, that is action 2. That means two simultaneous actions or two parallel actions were going on at the same time. My dear friends, we have written it and we have to use one conjunction, and mind it, we have to use while here. While the elders were reading in the tiffin hours. So the entire part, it will be a time clause. It will be a time clause. That means adverb of time. Friends, so you can see that we are using here when and here using while. So I'm going to discuss it because this point is very much important for us. Let's look at this. Friends, actually when and while, friends, both these are subordinating conjunction. Both these are subordinating conjunction and both of them are used to show time. That means if you write down anything after it, the entire, as it is subordinating conjunction, so obviously after that we have to use subject and verb. So the entire clause will be a time clause. That means these word or these words make the entire clause a subordinating time clause. That means adverb of time. This is the main thing. And the second one is for duration, action which needs duration of time. For duration we use while, and for point we use when. Suppose when we in the first sentence we have written when he called me. When he called me. He called me. Look at this calling. It's related to point. Reading, it is related to duration. So we cannot write down when I was reading. Better we should write down while I was reading or while he was reading, because reading is such kind of activity for which we need a duration of time. Calling is such kind of activity for which we need a point of time. Friends, this is the main thing. Friends, I think you can understand this usage of when and while in this type of sentences. Friends, there may be another type which is very much important, and suppose for describing mood or atmosphere, we use this type of sentences. Friends, suppose this is our time of speaking, and here obviously, so this is our past time. Obviously this is our past time, and this past time maybe several actions are going on. Suppose 3-4 actions are going on. Action 1, action 2, action 3, action 4. These were going on. Friends, for these also we use past continuous tense. Friends, I am writing down one example. You can look at this. Suppose I am writing down when I reached the school. When I reached the school. Friends, look at this. The verb is reached. Reached means, suppose this is the school gate and this person is outside the school gate. Whenever he stepped in, it means reached. That means for stepping in, we need a point of time. We don't need 10 minutes, 15 minutes. That means we don't need any kind of duration. We need point of time. That's why we have used when here, and the verb is reached. So when I reached the school, then put down a comma. So this is one action. Class 1 students were playing. When I reached the school, class 1 students were playing football. Then class 2 students were fighting. Look, this is for this type of activity we need duration. Playing, we need duration. Then comma, teachers were scolding them. Okay, that's enough. So full stop. Friends, here you can see one action, action number 2, action number 3, and action number 4. That means 4 actions were going on. Friends, this is our time of speaking, and obviously this is our past actions. So here there may be many actions. Friends, in this situation we can write down in this way. Friends, here you can see when I reach school, this is the subordinating clause, and class 1 students were playing football, this is the principal clause, and these class 2 students were fighting, that is also a principal clause. Teachers were scolding, that is also a principal clause. So entirely it's a complex sentence. Friends, in some of the places it is called complex compound, but we no need to think about it, no need to be worried about it. That is complex sentence, that is enough. So whatever it may be, friends, in this situation also we can use this structure, but mind it, for reaching the school, that means it is such kind of action for which we need a point of time. That's why you have used when. Friends, this is very much important for any kind of competitive exam. If you are going to take part in any kind of competitive exam, this concept will help you very much, and if you can grab it, you can answer different types of complicated questions based on tense in your academic curriculum or in your competitive exams. So my dear friends, that's all for today, and thank you very much for watching this video. I'd like to request you to subscribe to my channel and stay tuned. I will post these types of important videos regularly. And my dear friends, if you are benefited from this channel, obviously write down something on the comment box, and also if you have any problem, you can write down. I will try to resolve it. I will try to discuss it in the next videos. So my dear friends, thank you very much for watching this video. Thank you.